Further ado, spawning here in the bottom left corner, it is going to be Axiom's Impact.
In the upper right, as the Red Terran, it's MVP's center.
It's weird. Center plays this fantastic macro game, this great mid game, and I'm just thinking, like, why did he even bother trying to cheese Impact at any point in the series?
That's what I'm saying. That's why, you know, I was talking back to that first game where it just seemed like he was very, very good. I mean, you can also, again, some things just happened to be, you know, in favor of him on that map, the Foxtrot. That's what it was. But it just seemed like he just was kind of outplaying Impact a little. Like, you know, we saw Symbol in the first series, and he just, like, it was like, you don't touch the Zerg player, they defend really well, and suddenly Symbol's all over you. But Impact defends really well, pretty well, and still does not have that strong of a mid or late game. He just got crushed when Cedra was maxed.
Yeah. I think, well, actually, we don't really talk about this a whole lot because, you know, it's not really the case. But in my head, I always build up to be like, anytime an Axiom player plays in the OlimoLeague, it's kind of like defense versus offense almost. Like, they're both playing for cash, and they're both trying to win, obviously. But it's just kind of cool that you've got this this extra element in my mind. I don't know if anyone else does that, but I mean, on one hand, like, you're rooting for Impact, you'll keep the money in the house, so to speak. Not that that's really the case of things, but we've had quite a few actual Axiom victories in the past. I think almost everybody from Axiom's actually won on OlimoLeague at this point. I think Ryung hasn't, and Hart, I guess, hasn't. He hasn't played in any.
Yeah, exactly. Hart hasn't played any. Yeah, that's the two. The Terrans obviously underpowered.
Yeah. Now, like, we've seen yeah, because yeah, everyone's pretty much performed well in this cup, living the TMS and stuff. I'm kind of waiting to start seeing Truester playing in this, though. I mean, real talk.
Yeah, he was just streaming.
Yeah, Olivia, get on this. It's like, hey, True, if you're gonna stay on our house, you're gonna play on our tournament.
For reals. Anyways, so it looks like it's gonna go into a macro game again. You know, whatever center is gonna do is gonna be off 2 bases, leading into 3. You know, Ryung is really the only guy I can think of who has legitimate 2-base builds, and I'm talking like 2-base, no more SCVs, all in type of mode. And they seem to work more or not work more often than they work. And he is the only one I've seen for it. Otherwise, it's just, you know, just in the 3rd, drop in the 3rd, something like that.
Well, Center makes a cross here on the minimap because he's obviously a big fan of Jesus.
Jesus?
Yeah. It's the analysis I'm bringing to the table. I don't know about you.
Praise Jesus.
So hungry.
Cheese.
But actually, getting serious and less silly for a moment here, one of the nice things about Overgrowth is this is like the map, right? This is the map everybody plays on. This is the map that's never vetoed. It's usually first, if not second, in a series. So while this isn't exactly series deciding, and it's not the end of the tournament just yet, I feel like this is probably the one game we're gonna get the best out of both players on.
Yeah, yeah. We'll really see if Center is simply outplaying Impact in the mid or late game, or if it was just, like, you know, other things in the beginning that were really causing Impact to lose out. You know, like maybe he's not being as greedy as he could have or should have been in that last game, or.
There's a great snipe on that Overlord too. Just a side note. He's pushing down the right side of the map with not just Hellions but Marines and tail.
He's getting that faster pneumatized Carapace.
Yo, if there had been like, I was expecting there to be an armory down with a push like this, but this is just Marines.
It comes so much earlier than what if you had an armory that it's sort of better because Impact's, you know, he's not gonna expect this. He's not gonna have Balins ready.
Oh man, Marines bring so much extra DPS to the party. It's so weird to consider like something low like 4 Marines can bring that much extra. Overlord does get a good scout, by the way.
Need Banelings. He just needs Lings. I'm so surprised he's not making any. He's being very, you know, like, oh, I guess it's supply block. That's why.
That Overlord snipe from over here, man. Coming into
what happened.
Full swing.
You know what, though? He's like, you know, F a 3rd. Let me just go ahead and with big Baneling bust you. And while the Terrans haven't had effective cheeses so far against Impact in any series that we cast of them, Impact's cheeses have been very good. So, I'm feeling all right about this. The problem with any type of only Baneling all-in, if it is in fact that, it might just be precautionary. Although he is, you know, getting a lot of wings, is that Hellions can deal with it pretty effectively. Okay, it looks like it's just defensive. So 2 Evo Chambers are going to go down. You know, maybe if he does take care of this easy peasy, he counters with the Bailing similar to that Deadwing game, but I don't know if he can deal with this.
Well, I mean, this is already hard to deal with. I wish there was an armory, though. This would be so much more devastating if these were Hellbats instead of Hellions, but Queens get absolutely just annihilated. Not even a fair fight, to be honest. Piece of head, like, lying on the ground, no big deal. Hatchery's gonna be canceled once again.
This is so bad. He has a Bailing nest, but he hasn't morphed any Bailings, and he's gonna try and attack in here with just Lings. And this is not gonna work out. Like, he's just gonna lose here, and even if he doesn't lose here, he's not able to get a third. He doesn't have a drone count. Like, he's not gonna be dead, but he's dying.
He's taking more damage than I think anyone would have anticipated from something this early. Nice pickup on that Hellion, by the way. A very subtle move, but a very important one, keeping that alive for yet another volley. And Center is just trouncing him. GG.
I feel like going all Linning as Impact would have been a better choice.
Yeah, that's okay. That's so scary, but this now puts Impact on his last life. Getting really close to the end of this. I mean, as much as I want food, I want this to go to Game 7. Truthfully and entirely. Scout's honor and all that. But what I am going to do is play an ad break while we get into this next game, guys. So do stick around. It's been about almost half